You buy a new iPhone. It's fast, smooth, reliable. Then, 2 or 3 years later, something changes. Apps take longer to open, battery life drops, the phone feels heavier somehow. Many people ask the same question: is Apple slowing older devices on purpose, or is something else happening behind the scenes? This video is not about accusations. It's about understanding how software, hardware, and long-term product design interact over time. Because what feels like planned obsolescence often looks very different when you zoom out. To understand the truth, we need to look at how modern devices are built, maintained, and updated.
This topic matters because smartphones are no longer short-term purchases. People expect them to last for years. Software updates promise improvements, security, and new features, but they also change how devices behave. This video is for educational purposes and is based on publicly available information. We're not here to accuse Apple or defend it. We're here to understand systems. Because once you understand how software updates work, you can better judge what's happening to your own devices. This isn't just about Apple. It's about how modern technology ages in a world that moves very fast.
Planned obsolescence is often misunderstood. The term originally described products designed to wear out quickly, light bulbs that fail early, appliances built to break. But in modern tech, obsolescence looks different. Phones don't stop working overnight. They slow down gradually. This creates suspicion. But software-driven products age differently than mechanical ones. They must support new apps, new security standards, and new network requirements. That creates tension between old hardware and new software. Understanding that tension is key to understanding Apple's update strategy. Apple is unusual in one important way. It supports devices longer than most competitors. iPhones often receive software updates for 5 to 6 years. On paper, this is a benefit, but long support also creates challenges. New software is built for new hardware, faster chips, more memory, better batteries. When older devices receive these updates, they're asked to do more with less. That doesn't break the phone, but it changes performance. This is where many people begin to feel something is wrong. Software doesn't exist on its own. It depends on hardware. Over time, batteries degrade. Processing chips remain the same, but software grows more complex. New features require more resources. Security protections run constantly in the background. Older devices struggle not because they're sabotaged, but because they are stretched. This is similar to running modern apps on an old computer. It still works, but not as smoothly. This gradual mismatch is often mistaken for intentional slowing. In 2017, Apple confirmed something important. Some iPhones were being throttled, not to push upgrades, but to prevent unexpected shutdowns. As lithium-ion batteries age, they can't deliver peak power reliably. When demand spikes, the phone can shut off. Apple's solution was to limit performance to maintain stability. The mistake wasn't the solution, it was the communication. Users weren't clearly informed. That lack of transparency fueled suspicion. Once explained, the system made more sense, but trust had already been shaken.
Consider how iOS updates work. Each year, Apple introduces new features: live widgets, advanced camera processing, enhanced privacy tools. Older phones may receive the update, but not every feature. Even so, the system still grows heavier. Background processes increase. Visual effects demand more power. The phone remains functional, but performance shifts. This isn't a switch being flipped, it's a gradual change. And gradual changes are harder to notice until they become frustrating.
This is the most common belief, but forcing upgrades through slowdown would be risky. It would damage brand trust. Apple's business relies heavily on customer loyalty. More importantly, Apple already profits from services and ecosystem retention.
A broken trust would hurt far more than delayed upgrades help. What looks like forced obsolescence is more accurately system aging. That doesn't mean Apple is perfect, but intent matters. Understanding intent helps separate poor communication from deliberate harm.
Many people avoid updates entirely, but that has consequences. Security patches protect against real threats. App compatibility depends on newer software. Skipping updates can create other problems. Apple tries to balance performance and protection. That balance isn't always perfect, but updates aren't designed to ruin devices. They are designed to keep them usable in a changing digital environment. The trade-off is complexity, and complexity often feels like decline.
Here's the surprising part. Apple often prioritizes stability over raw performance. A slower phone that doesn't crash is considered better than a fast one that shuts down. This philosophy shapes update behavior. Performance limits aren't always about speed, they're about consistency. That choice may frustrate users, but it reflects a design priority. Once you understand that, the updates feel less mysterious. They're not about pushing you forward, they're about keeping you steady.
Today, Apple gives users more control. Battery health visibility, performance management settings, clearer update information. These changes came from feedback. They show how systems evolve. As devices become more complex, transparency becomes more important. Users want to understand trade-offs, not be surprised by them. This shift reflects a broader trend in tech. Design isn't just about function anymore, it's about communication.
Apple isn't alone. All modern devices face the same problem. Long-term software support strains older hardware. Manufacturers must choose between ending support or stretching it. Neither option is perfect. Apple chose longer support. That choice comes with side effects. Understanding this helps us judge technology more fairly, not emotionally, not suspiciously, but realistically. Systems age, and how they age depends on design decisions.
So, is Apple practicing planned obsolescence? Not in the traditional sense. What we're seeing is the tension between long-term software support and aging hardware. Performance changes feel personal because phones are personal, but the system is broader than any single update. Understanding how it works gives us perspective, not frustration. If this video helped you see technology differently, share your thoughts below. And if you enjoy breaking down how industries really work, consider subscribing to Industry File with David.